So to add to this activity, I'm going to create a second character. So remember that we can go to our sprite creating button. Oh, I double clicked that by mistake. Go back. So I'm going to let it pop up. I'm going to paint another sprite. And this one is going to be called net. So I'm going to create a butterfly net to catch a butterfly. So this one's going to be pretty straightforward here. I'm going to use my outline tool. I'm going to set it to black. And my fill tool will be set to nothing. So I should now be able to get a simple black outline. Okay. I'm actually going to undo that and just make it a little bit thicker. Play with this and see how thick my text or my line is. Let's make it a bit thicker still. Let's try 6. Okay, that looks decent. And I'm going to draw a handle on my net. And again, this is probably not going to be a spectacular work of art. But again, we want our game to look good. But for now, we're basically just starting out. So we're going to keep it pretty simple. So now I'm going to, let's make my net kind of a dark color like that. All right, I'm going to make this thinner. I'm going to draw some meshing on my net. Mr. Kempton is not the most artistic person in the world when it comes to drawing. So there is my basic net. Now what I'm going to do with my net is make it move, but I'm going to make it move in a slightly different way. We have the name, so I'm going to go back now to my code, and I want the net to move around following my mouse rather than hitting keys. So I'm going to go back to my events. Now I'm going to go to motion. Okay, events first. When the green flag is clicked, what do I want my mouse to do? I want it to continually go to my mouse pointer. Okay, now before I can do that, because if I put this together right now and I hit green flag to start the game, you'll see it goes there once and it stays there. So it only worked the instant I clicked that flag. So I want it to do that over and over and over. So I'm going to go to control and I'm going to have it do a forever. I'm going to put go to mouse pointer in there. So now when I click the green flag, it goes to my mouse, but it's doing that constantly. Whenever I move my mouse around, my net will follow my mouse the entire time until I hit the stop button, and then it stops. So this is going to work well for our second part. However, my butterfly is too big. So I'm going to click back on my butterfly, and instead of redrawing the entire butterfly, I'm just simply going to set its size at, say, 25. That's better. Okay, so now when I play my game, I have complete control over my butterfly with my keys. I'm moving up, down, left, and right. And I also have control over the positioning of my net with my mouse. So I like where I'm heading with this. Okay, so that's the second thing I'm going to add for you. I would like you to create another character. Doesn't really matter what it is. I've got a net and a butterfly. You can have anything you want. They don't need to really make sense. But I want to have 2 characters, and your first one will follow the code of the butterfly. Let's stop it for a second here. So there's your butterfly code, and there is your net code. All right, so there's 2 characters. Now, one thing I haven't shown you yet is how to save your activity. So I'm going to give it a name, and I want the name to be Motion. And I'm going to save now. So it's going to save my project. And if I want to look at all of the projects I have saved, I click on my little file icon. And there is all the testing stuff I was doing earlier. I'm going to delete those, get rid of all this stuff I was messing around with. And there I have my motion activity waiting for me to move on with. And when I click C inside, I go back and I can work on my activity. All right, so we should have 2 things at this point in time. Good luck. I'll be back with a third.